July 6, 2025, the cargo vessel Magic Seas glides through a silent Red Sea dawn. But beneath that calm, 8 fast skiffs were closing in. They carried machine guns, RPGs, and intent to kill. The crew sounded the alarm. Red lights flooded the decks. Gunfire erupted. Sparks tore across the steel hull. A rocket slammed into the deck. Fire burst through the cargo hold. Then came the drones, silent, fast, unstoppable. One was intercepted. 2 others hit their mark. The ship began to burn its fate, sealed by water and flame. With systems failing, the captain made his call. Abandon ship. The Magic Seas burned, and the Red Sea held its breath. At sunrise, the Magic Seas was gone, a black scar on blue water. The crew drifted nearby silent, stunned alive. The world soon learned this wasn't piracy. It was precision. Coordinates traced to Houthi-controlled shores near Yemen. A new kind of naval warfare, cheap, smart, and lethal. Each one cost thousands to sink ships worth millions. Shipping firms froze routes. Insurance skyrocketed overnight. 12% of world trade now sails in fear. Every detour adds days, every delay costs millions. This was more than an attack, it was a statement, and it echoed far beyond Yemen's coast. The Magic Seas sank, but its impact rises. As smoke drifted over the Red Sea, questions rose in Washington. The Houthis had struck again, but not at the US. Under the ceasefire, they promised no US ships would be touched. The Magic Seas was Greek, and therefore fair game. In Tehran, celebration. In shipping rooms, panic. The Houthis weren't hunting profits, they were sending signals. Every hit fuels the narrative defiance against the West. And with Gaza burning again, silence was no longer strategic. Iran's shadow loomed a patron watching its proxy act. The US called for restraint but sent more warships anyway. Europe debated response protection or escalation. Meanwhile, the Red Sea still burned on, and the world still holding its breath. One ship sank, but its ripples spread across the planet. Insurance rates exploded. Freight halted mid-route. Every container rerouted meant another million lost. Shipping giants froze contracts, fearing another Magic Seas. At the stock exchanges, oil-spiked futures went wild. The Red Sea, once a shortcut, now a battlefield. The US Navy's mission expanded from guard to guardian. China watched closely its ships sail here too. Europe called for diplomacy, insurers called for survival. Global commerce paused to rethink its lifelines. Meanwhile, the rebels watched, waiting for headlines to fade. But silence in this sea is just reload time. The world's arteries pulse slower, under threat unseen. The attack on Magic Seas wasn't chaos, it was choreography. A fusion of low-tech daring and high-tech precision. Drone boats, the poor man's cruise missile. They move low, quiet, and hit with unstoppable momentum. One operator, one signal, one explosion. Each strike refines their code, each explosion teaches. The Houthis aren't evolving alone, they're guided. Iran's influence turns rebels into strategists. They study every convoy, every pattern, every blind spot. Their drones don't return home because they never have to. It's innovation born from desperation and war. And the world's most advanced navies are now playing catch-up. The future of war already at sea. When the smoke cleared, the Red Sea wasn't just a battlefield, it was a message board. Washington watched with unease and calculation. Within hours, US destroyers repositioned closer to the line of fire. London called for calm but prepared carriers anyway. Paris joined quietly but decisively. Even Beijing, a silent observer, began rerouting fleets. Meanwhile, Iran stayed silent, its influence speaking louder. In Brussels, fear turned into urgency. The Red Sea crisis had a new name, Operation Guardian. But every alliance comes with questions and costs. Every new ship meant new escalation and new risk. Every decision echoed louder than the blast itself. The world's balance now trembles on the waves. The smoke over the Red Sea drifted all the way to Wall Street. Oil surged. Stocks plunged. Panic moved faster than cargo. Freight giants counted losses billions by the hour. In London, underwriters called it the risk corridor. Each detour meant longer voyages and emptier shelves. From Shanghai to Rotterdam, the clock slowed, the cost grew. Insurance firms warned next strike could break the system. Meanwhile, stock traders bet on chaos and won. To the rebels, it wasn't about money, it was leverage. Every explosion here rippled through boardrooms worldwide. From smoke and salt water came fear and volatility. In this war, the battlefield isn't land, it's logistics. And the next shot might hit your wallet. At dawn, the silence broke, missiles lit the Yemeni sky. Operation Prosperity Guardian no longer defensive. Targets radar sites, launch pads, command centers. The response was swift, but the message unclear. For every strike came another drone. Houthis struck again farther, faster, bolder. In the chaos, commercial ships became shields and targets. No one could tell who fired first this time. In global war rooms, the line between attack and defense blurred. The Red Sea, once a trade artery, now a theater of confusion. Each retaliation blurred the moral horizon. And somewhere, another drone was already on its way. This wasn't escalation, it was momentum. And momentum is how wars are lost. The missiles stopped, but the shockwaves didn't. The wreck of the Magic Seas became a monument to vulnerability. Its crew safe but scarred. They spoke of fire, of chaos, and of silence. But beyond loss came awareness. Allies met not to fight, but to rethink. How do you defend trade without fueling war? Because when trade stops, humanity feels it. From ports to policies, the Red Sea now ruled the world's agenda. The Houthis called it victory, the world called it warning. And in the middle, 12% of the world's trade still sails on. Fear has a new shape, small, fast, and unmanned. And the question now isn't who attacked, but who's next? The Red Sea, a mirror of our modern world, calm on the surface chaos below. It proved that power no longer comes from fleets but from code and conviction. When small nations master smart weapons, giants must rethink. Technology has leveled the seas but not the stakes. Every strike carries a message even when no one's left to hear it. The Red Sea reminded us, control is an illusion. From trade to war, from war to memory. History won't remember the cargo, only the consequences. Because every sea tells a story of greed, survival, and consequence. The world watched and learned how fragile peace can be. The Magic Seas burned, but its lesson burns brighter. If one ship can shift the world, imagine what peace could do. This is the Red Sea, where silence speaks louder than war.